Well, hello there humans, hello there earthlings, hello there hippies. It's Bushka on Blitz here, back with another dose of tanking affection in the shape of a three-headed TD Troika. Today we're going to be having a look at the T95, followed by the Obj263, followed by the FV215B 183. Why? Because I've been putting so many bloody 140 vids out lately that people are starting to arc up and carrying on like pork chops because I'm rolling too hard with the Russian mediums. To put balance back in the force, I've decided to roll as slowly as freaking possible in the Type 90, in the T95. I really don't like this tank anymore. I played over 1,000 games in this tank on the original Bushka account, and I stopped because the game got faster and faster and faster. The maps got bigger and bigger and bigger, and there was less and less corridor fighting, which is what this tank excels at. Playing a tier 9 game going down the one channel of Fort Despair and just intimidating the hell out of everyone in front of you is a lovely thing to do in the T95. However, as you can see in this game, I am basically rolling out from the spawn, and I am 120 meters from where I started when it all kicks off. This is the nature of the T95. However, through happy chance, we are in a perfect position. The team is behind us, we have plenty of support, and we are actually the tip of the spear. You couldn't have planned this better if you wrote the novel yourself, because what's happened here is I've driven straight down the one route for 5 minutes already, the rest of the team's waited, and I've got there, only I've just rolled out a spawn and they're right there in front of me, which is how you want to play in a T95. And this glorious ISA decides he is going to side scrape against 120 millimeters worth of gun, which is a horrific idea. 150 millimeters worth of gun. Whoopsie daisy, the 120 is not something I rock and roll. And the ISA gets punctured accordingly and set on fire to boot. The 95 is as slow as a wet weed, has no mobility, and relies on the enemy being stupid enough to stand in front of it or put themselves in a situation where they're standing in front of it. No one wants to be that person, because although the 95 is pennable, if you've got a lot of heat, or you can get into the lower glacis, or you can tap onto the top, it's not exactly the tank that you want to be trying to pen while sitting still and aiming at tiny little dots on a hatch that's got 640 alpha worth of gun underneath it. And that's one of the reasons why I love this tank as a complete noob, because you could just roll it out, drive it forward, hold the fire button down, eat a Snickers bar at the same time, and occasionally, when some idiot drove in front of you, press fire. And that was good. It worked, because the game was new, and everyone else was pretty much idiots as well, just like I was. It's become less and less doable, however. I haven't done a new review on this tank because I stand by the old review I did, really. It shows you how to drive the thing, it shows you the positives and negatives, and it shows you what you should be doing if you're driving this tank. And to be honest, quite often in tanks like this, I advocate camping, because you can't take the risk of being stuck out in any kind of open space when the red tide hits, and it often does. It just so happens that this was the perfect collection of tanking genius for me to catch the break and have them all turn up in front of me. And this was the last game, and I was looking for something a little bit different. And that's why I was driving the 95, because we can all be honest here, we're friends. I have been playing too many Russian mediums, and I can't help that because they're glorious. But don't worry, I put a video out last night about Russian lights, and I'll be playing a lot of them soon. Always use your HE on Borsigs, because they have very, very soft skin, and they love HE. It exfoliates very, very well, and it turns them into luscious beauties. They love a bit of HE, touching it up around the face. I've had to change over there. I was hoping to put some HE into the boot of the M103 and do another full measure of devotion for 1,000 hit points. However, the Borsig's carcass stopped that, and I had to settle for putting 2 AP rounds into his side for about 1,200. Onwards and upwards, humans. Next off the rank is the dirty big Obj263 on Vineyards. Why do I like the Obj263, and why do I call it the dirty big 263? Because the bloody thing is long, and it's bloody fast and it's bloody big. And it's got the most ridiculously overpowered gun on the front. It's got the most damage per minute in the game right now, which is great fun if you drive it like a bully. And God knows I do. This is one of my favourite tanks to solo in because, as Chapo so eloquently said once upon a time when we were driving T94s in a T-Rex game on Temple and we went YOLO around the flank and killed an IS-4, we're not here to spiders. You can take it for granted that that middle word had something to do with fornicating. Sorry, whatever's going on there, don't mean to be rude. So I'm pushing very, very hard here. There's an IS-7. Now, IS-7s and I have a very, very interesting relationship. There's two tanks in the game when I'm saying playing same tier tanks that I just don't bother mucking around with AP unless it's not a dire situation. That's the IS-7 and the IS-3 Defender. Both of them have incredibly trollish armour profiles. The only one of all the tanks that I play against, which is pretty funny, that I put on the similar kind of level, is the IS-8. At times, you just can't pen the side of an IS-8. It doesn't make any sense. But for what it's worth, IS-7s, IS-3 Defenders, they get no love from me. They need to have the full weight of penetration placed upon them. Now, we've pushed very, very hard. We are a TD, and this thing has an incredibly trollish armor profile for a TD. It can really bounce a lot of shots. It's got, I think it's spaced armor. I'm not 100% certain on the upper mantlet either side of the gun. And the gun mantlet itself, although it looks pennable at times, you'll hit it with heat and nothing will happen. And then you have an IS-8 just roll up magically and show you his side. And you know that the day is going to be an all-right day. And you can see the absolute ridiculous amount of damage this thing is pumping out. The quickness of the rounds, I mean, they've got no chance. And I'm feeling the rush right now. I am pushing like a monster down this right flank. They can't go quick enough for me. This IS-7's got an Obj263 in front of him. There's an IS-8 there as well. If they don't get going and start moving, I'm just going to roll straight past them and charge this big dog right at that Obj263, which is exactly what I do. Turn around, get a shot into him, say happy days, how's your father, and then keep rolling and go toe-to-toe. He actually gets a very unlucky shot there, but that happens a lot in this tank. And you can see I'm going to beat him on the reload well and truly. We drop adrenaline anyway just to make sure and finish him off. Very, very tough to face this tank toe-to-toe. It's a great front-end brawler. It's very, very long though, and the traverse numbers are nice. Don't get me wrong, but the issue with it really isn't the traverse numbers. It's the fact that because it's so long, once they get on your sides, life can be very, very difficult. Now, it's 3-on-3. This Object 140, though, is going to go straight through town, which was a big error on his part. He's looking for shots, and he found one. And we're getting right down and into the nuts and bolts of it. Now, there's not many TDs you could drive like this, especially not with this kind of vigor. Mostly because not many TDs can bounce shots the way this thing is. And it's very intimidating. We're not going to stop. We're rolling straight up on the Centurion 7-1. We've got the Angry Pants on, and we're giving him everything. We're not mucking around here. 4 kills, and I'm a cocky bugger. Angry Russian. Driving the Angry Russian, I like to call it. Hoodie loves this thing too. It's a great tank. If I had to pick one TD at Tier X, I'd probably take this one, just because it's so durable. It's got so much going for it. And you can use it in so many different situations. Only a first class there, despite the fact that we hunted and killed most of our own damage. 1519 XP, not quite enough for the mastery. Finally, the TD Troika rolls on to Castilla. And we have the all-star team of Josh 8, my good buddy from Grump, and I'm rolling in the FE215B 183. This is a memorable game, boys and girls, and I'd just like to say that I may well change my ammo loadout on the FE215B 183 after this game, and I'll let you see and see what you think. Now, I've pushed to the left-hand side here. Josh has pushed up on the left-hand side as well, and for whatever reason, two of our much vaunted green all-star team have decided to go the middle of the map and push without anyone spotted and with 2 Russian monster TDs on their team. Like 2 640 Alpha guns, they're just going to push. And they've been spotted. And they're going to get lit the hell up, because what would you be doing this for? Thankfully for us, a couple of the red guys are equally as bloody silly. That ST1, for instance. And there goes the IS-8, who managed to roll straight on down. 2 of our mediums are still mucking around in spawn. Look, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if these guys had really bad games. I don't know if it was an off day. I don't know if a weather satellite came through their internet connection and they all lost their minds. Whatever the case may be, the sky's blue, frogs don't bounce, and they really sucked this game. And it was left to Josh and I to do a whole lot of carrying. You can see them dropping like flies. The 2 guys that just drove in the middle of nowhere are obviously out of it. Their ST1's copped one. Oh, look at this. I'm going to aim that at his lower glacis, just on the edge. It hits his turret. Gun handling. That's a shell gone flying that I would love to have had back, because it gets very, very tight very, very soon. And this IS-8, I don't know what he was thinking. I hit him really, really hard, and he just sat there. So he obviously likes getting hit very, very hard. Now, I've been spotted, so I'm going to push down. We are 3 on 6, which, in case you don't know, isn't a good thing. It's a really, really bad thing. In fact, I don't know if anyone else on our team has done any damage whatsoever. Josh has been putting in damage over there, and I can't get a hold of this T-54. Check this out. Check this next shot out. I'm going to get a rear shot on a T-54. You tell me where this goes, because I've slowed it down and I can't see it. You ready? I give in. Ask me one on sport. Where the hell did that go? Let's look at that one more time. Yeah, it could have hit the barrel, I guess, but there's no ricochet, and I mean, what are the odds it goes straight? I don't know where it went. Anyway, long story short, we missed. And that's not really good, because we don't have a lot of tanks left, and they've got a lot of tanks left, and we're getting shagged very, very hard, very, very properly. Josh, however, is on voice chat. Have a look at this IS-8. Look at this snapshot. You missed that shot, the rear of a T-54, and then you snapshot an IS-8 with your turret rotating. Now, I'm doing something very, very different here. I'm going up this wall. Why? Because what I want to do is make sure that anyone who drives down along my left-hand side there, and I don't fire that because I'm not confident that another snapshot will go through on this tank regardless. And the red guys make a common mistake here. Anyway, so I want to look, anyone that drives up on my left, I'm going to be able to shoot down on top of them. And that means a full round of Hesh will do a full amount of damage. Why? Because I'm completely out of AP. I've completely run out of AP rounds. And all I've got left after killing that IS-8 is Hesh, which is not ideal when you really, really want to make sure shots count. And you've got a gun like this where it's pretty bloody trollish. And we take it a little too quick, and we just hit his tracks. Down to 4 rounds. As I mentioned, I'm going up this wall. Josh is doing fantastic work over there. And I've got to point out, we are on Discord. We are on voice chat. Without it, this game would have been lost long ago. I mean, there's no way around that. This was a really big advantage for us because, and you're going to see that at the end why it was. So this is what I'm talking about. This Obj263, we can get full rolls of Hesh in areas where we can get complete pens. And here comes another YOLO by the name of the T62. Thanks very much, buddy. We push up because he doesn't have the gun depression, and then we pull back after driving him off because he can't afford to have us go past him on the right and put full Hesh into him. And then we are actually aiming this one up, hoping we can get a shot, and he pulls all the way back, and we reset the situation. It's now down to 2 on 3, which is much, much better. And we get that bug where it starts tracking to the bloody unbelievable. Starts tracking to the actual edge of the rock. And I think, to be fair though, he probably got the bug as well. Josh has nutted that T-54, and now it's 2 on 2. I've only got 2 rounds left. This is an issue. If I miss another shot or fail to kill a tank with another shot, and they kill Josh, we can't win the game. All I can do, and this is why Discord is key, is say to Josh, once this 268 fires, I'm going to push on the 704. and we get a shot there. The gun depression just gets down, right? Just gets down. So I'm saying to Josh here, I've got 1 round left. If the 268 fires and misses, I'm pushing on the 704. I'll kill him, and then I'll just Rambo at the 268, and you manage him with your shot, which is exactly what I do. Hello, Dorothy. We are pushing. Need to absorb shot because I've got no ammo left. And Josh, you little bloody legend, pulls it back. One of the biggest platoon games I have ever seen. And by that, I mean most damage by a platoon. We got the mastery, 6,201 damage. Josh did 5,396. The rest of the team combined managed 443 damage. So we pumped out a sterling 11,597 damage between the two of us. Wow. That's a whole lot of moolah, boys and girls. You only get about 12k on average damage to do in a Tier X match. And that was a full measure of devotion. We got through the lot of it. So if that hasn't balanced the 140 love, I don't know what will. We had a massive, monstrous American, turtle? Doom turtle. Doesn't move. We had the super quick Obj263 with the massive DPM. And then we had the dirt monster, super troll gun. Never know what you're going to get when you fire one out of the end of the banana cannon. 215B183. Thank you very, very much, Josh, for being a tremendous carry monster there. Doing nearly 5.5k in what seemed destined to be a losing battle. Holding your end up, holding them off me, and just being an all-round bouncy castle in the IS-4. I'm Bushka on Blitz. You're bloody lovely. If you haven't considered sponsoring the channel, please do so. There's a link to the Patreon channel up there. We've got lots of things going on with Patreon. We've got contests. We've got events. We've got boot camps. We do private videos for patrons only. We've got our own Discord channel that everyone flocks into. We've got our own Telegram chat channel. It is all bloody lovely. Look after your family, boys and girls, and stay safe on the battlefield.